Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. My name is Angie. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be doing this full face tutorial for you guys. So jumping right in, I already primed my face. I'm going to take my Charlotte's Tilbury foundation. This is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation in the shade Neutral. I'm starting off with just one layer, but I do like a more full coverage look. So I'm going to go back in, apply a second layer, and then blend everything out. So now it is time for concealer. I'm going to take my Sephora Best Skin Ever Concealer in the shade 35N. And I'm also going to be using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn. So for my concealer, I prefer a more full coverage look. So for my under eyes, I take my Sephora concealer first. I put that on and then I go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in my T-zone area, or the rest of my T-zone area, which is going to be my chin, down the bridge of my nose, and on my forehead. So once I have my concealer where I want it to be, I'm going to take a blending brush and I blend out my under eyes first, and then I go in and blend out the rest of my face. And I usually start from bottom to top, so I'll start blending at my chin, then on my Cupid's bow area, the bridge of my nose, and then up to my forehead. So another thing I do differently when blending out my concealer, for my T-zone area, I like to use a blending sponge. This is the Eco Styler blending sponge. I like this one a lot. It's really small and it's just perfect to get into like the smaller areas of my face. And then I do dampen my sponge with some setting spray. The setting spray I used in today's video is the Milani Make It Last Matte finishing spray, or finishing setting spray. So after I get done blending out my concealer, I'm then gonna take my Pinch of Flour setting powder. This is by Bakerie and it's in the shade Caramel. So for my under eyes, I do them differently as well. I take a powder puff and I'm gonna actually blend the powder into my face. I'm not gonna set it and let it bake and like just sit on my face. I blend my powder into my face. That is for under my eyes only. For the rest of my face and my T-zone where I applied that concealer, that's where I sit and let my powder bake. So I'm going to apply the powder and leave it on my face while I apply my contour. So for my contour and bronzer, I'm using the Milani Cheeks Kiss Cream Bronzer in the shade Spicy Season. Once I apply that contour, I'm going to take a contour brush and blend that out. I'm only putting this contour on the side of my face. Sometimes I put contour on like my forehead and the temples of my forehead, but today I only did the side of my cheeks. After that, I'm going to wipe off the rest of that setting powder that's in my T-zone. Next, I'm taking my Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette in the shade Medium to Dark. I'm taking the powder contour shade, putting that over my bronzer. I'm going to take that powder contour shade, blend that out with a brush, and then I'm also going to go back in and just do some extra blending with my Beauty Blender. So now that I have everything blended out to my liking, I'm now going to take that same Beauty Bakerie powder and set my contour. So while that setting powder is on my face, I'm going to go back in with my Black Radiance palette into the sculpting shade. And I'm going to sculpt my Cupid's bow underneath my chin. I don't know what the area is called, but I've always like put powder under there and I like how it looks. But then I'm going to go in my Cupid's bow and then the bridge of my nose. So once I get done doing that, I'm then going to go back in with my Beauty Bakerie powder and add some powder on the sides of my nose where I put the sculpting shade. Then I'm going to wipe off the powder that was on my contour and then wipe off the powder I put on the side of my nose. So once I get done wiping off all the setting powder, this is the last powder I will use in today's video. It is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop mattifying powder. I don't know why I can't say that word today, but this is in the shade Mocha. So I'm just gonna put this powder all over my face just to set everything that I've done basically. So now it is time for a highlighter. Going back into my Black Radiance palette, just putting some of that highlighter on the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow, the arch of my eyebrow, and then the upper part of my cheeks. So once I apply my highlighter, I do like to go back in with my beauty blender and just blend my entire face just to make sure everything is, seamlessly flowing together. I'm going to take my blush. This is the Beauty Bakerie Snackaroos blush in the shade Kiss My Cheeks. So I still like to apply blush the old way, which is like on the apples of your cheeks. I know everybody does it on like the upper part. It depends what day it is. Sometimes I'll switch up my placement, but most of the time it's the apples of my cheeks. And once I do that, I blend out my blush with a beauty blender and I'm going back in with this NYX powder to make sure everything is, looking okay and blended. So now I'm taking my Juvia's Place Luxe Liner in the shade Brownie. I do like to overline my lips. So that is what I'll be doing in today's video. I know I don't have the perfect angle of this, so sorry about that. I'll do better in the next video. But then once I get done lighting my lips, I'm going to take my Juvia's Place lip gloss in the shade It's Glass. And everything I use in today's video will be listed down below in the description box. So once I get done applying my lip gloss, I like to go back in with a lip brush and just kind of clean up the edges around my lips just to make sure, everything's looking nice and neat. Also, if you want to see how I got this eyeshadow look, be sure to check out my YouTube shorts. But this is the completed result. I thought this look was super cute. So thank you guys so much for watching and be sure to subscribe.